Imagine dropping nearly 2.5 grand on a piece of high-end hardware, only to realize that it's completely discontinued, like highly buggy and strictly non-returnable. So, welcome to today's deep dive. Our mission today is to look past the specs to uncover the hidden complexities of the AV gear powering the screens around you and, well, what happens when premium tech hits a wall?
hmm
Today, we are looking at a product listing from HDTV Supply for the Kramer VS-44UHDA 4x4 4K60 HDMI matrix switcher.
Yeah, it is a mouthful, but it is such a fascinating snapshot of the industry. I mean, we are looking at a premium device here, originally priced over $3,000, currently heavily discounted down to $2,448.
Which is still a huge investment.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
the customer reviews attached to this listing, they give us this really raw, unfiltered look at the actual reality of maintaining commercial-grade video infrastructure.
Okay, let's unpack this. First, the core function, a 4x4 matrix switcher. At first glance, I am picturing a digital traffic cop. Is this basically a digital traffic cop, seamlessly directing 4 different 4K video sources to 4 different screens simultaneously without any bottlenecks?
Yeah, that covers the routing aspect, sure. It is managing massive bandwidth, specifically, 4K resolution at 60 hertz with 4.2.0 color compression.
That is a ton of raw data just flying through the system.
It really is. But what's fascinating here is that the real heavy lifting isn't the video at all. It is actually the audio.
Wait, really? Why is the audio the heavy lift? Like, the listing mentions an independent audio matrix, but shouldn't the audio just ride along with the video signal?
Well, you'd think so, right? But in complex setups, you rarely want the sound tied directly to the screen. This Kramer unit can actually de-embed audio.
De-embed, meaning it physically strips the sound out of the incoming HDMI video data stream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it can also embed external analog audio back into a video feed.
Yeah.
Plus, it pulls in 4 ARC audio return channel feeds directly from the connected displays.
I see. So it's grabbing audio from the original video sources, the analog inputs, and pulling it backwards from the TVs.
Spot on. So when you take the 4 standard HDMI audio streams, add the 4 analog inputs, and then those 4 ARC inputs, you mathematically expand that base 4x4 system into an equivalent 12x12 audio routing matrix.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it lets you send the football game's video to a projector, but route its audio to completely different ceiling speakers, entirely independent of each other.
That makes a lot more sense. But physically moving all that separated data over long cables, I mean, that has to cause issues. So what does this all mean when the source mentions Kramer reclocking technology? I am trying to visualize this. Is it like a relay race where a tired runner passes the baton to a fresh sprinter so the signal doesn't degrade over long cables?
Well, not quite. The relay race analogy works perfectly for basic amplification, boosting a weak signal so it doesn't fade out. But reclocking fixes a completely different problem. It fixes timing.
Oh, timing. Like
Yeah.
how?
So over distance, digital zeros and ones don't just get weak, they actually get out of sync.
Right.
It's called jitter. If the timing is off, your picture tears or it just goes black.
Right, which ruins the whole setup.
Exactly. So reclocking actually strips the signal down
Yeah.
and reconstructs it to a strict, perfect metronome.
Oh, so it's not just giving the runner a drink of water, it is forcing their footsteps back into perfect rhythm.
Precisely. It rebuilds the data stream. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, all this incredible internal engineering runs straight into a brick wall of consumer reality.
You mean the giant red flags on the sales page?
Yeah.
The listing states very clearly this is a discontinued item, non-cancelable and non-returnable.
Yeah, you literally have to email them your consent to those terms before they will even process the order. It completely changes the risk profile. You can really see the friction in the user reviews.
Definitely.
Like one user gave it 5 stars because it runs their foyer displays beautifully, but then they admit the unit randomly reboots.
Which is wild for a 5-star review.
Right. Worse, they have a LAN camera that automatically deletes itself from the entire system if they close the control program. They're stuck relying on tech support just to find a workaround.
And if you're on the other side of the fence, you might not even get the hardware to begin with. There is a brutal 1-star review from a buyer who placed an order, waited 10 days, and then was told the stock was entirely gone.
Which highlights the ultimate vulnerability of this infrastructure. I mean, this switcher is a powerhouse of video and audio routing, but it exists on the bleeding edge.
Yeah, even the most premium tech eventually hits its end of life.
Exactly. Leaving the people managing these systems balancing brilliant technical capabilities against the constant threat of vanishing stock and unpatchable bugs.
It is a high-stakes balancing act behind the drywall. So here is a final thought for you to ponder. The next time you walk into a sports bar and see a flawless, massive video wall, ask yourself how much of our seamless digital world is secretly relying on complex, discontinued hardware that can never be returned.